And her opponent from Korea Republic, Shin Yubin.
Shin Yubin has entered the arena, and she has entered your heart. But if you've been watching table tennis, she was already living there rent-free for years. A tenant who's always paying rent on time, which is a weird thing to say immediately after saying she's been living there rent-free. The point is she's responsible. Shin Yubin, responsible for a very difficult upcoming match. Pansori, her coach, always good to see here. It'll be the best of 5 match. First player to win 3 games to 11 must win by 2 will win the battle. And you're watching history in the making. The first time these two have ever met on the WTT stage. Look at the records down here. 67, a number we've seen before because HEZHUOJIA's played on this table before. While she's got those swords there, the backhand has a funky, rigid edge to that sword. She's got long pips with thick sponge underneath. Sean Coe, our umpire for the match. Man, I feel like I saw him somewhere very recently in a grocery store, and he was incredibly thoughtful. But again, that's not unusual for him. Umpires in general are not greedy people. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome to be on TV, and they love the sport. But it's not the highest paying job in the world. Just checking the equipment here.
Okay. Ladies, I have red and blue. Blue for you, red for HEZHUOJIA. Red, winner of the toss. Sorry, winner of the toss, yes. Service. Let me see. Okay.
I like it. That's so polite. Think about how cool and humble. In East Asia, there's this thing called saving face that I'm still learning. But HEZHUOJIA wins the toss, and Shin Yubin, when given the choice, just holds still and gives Sean Coe a moment to discover for himself, oh, wait a minute, my bad. That is really, really cool. Saving face, a nice way to say it is making sure that you never humiliate somebody else. I like it. Shin Yubin strong, has been a pro for 10 years already. Back in the day, Korea Open 2014, I had a chance to meet her when she was a squeaky 10-year-old, but also quite polite. And now, 10 years later, the leader of the Korean team. She's been that way for some time, though. A finalist at the WTT Contender Doha, semi-finalist in Goa, India, the star contender Ljubljana, semi-finalist, and star contender Bangkok, semi-finalist as well. Those are her best results in WTT in 2024. Had a chance to play with her just recently, actually. She's just got such a fun, playful spirit about her. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet. HEZHUOJIA, also quite friendly. Had a chance to catch up briefly, just sort of say our hellos in the practice hall. 26 years old and world ranked number 30. 4 titles to her name, and if you saw her play the last round, when she played Miwa Harimoto, there was just this sense of how can anybody beat HEZHUOJIA. She makes you really uncomfortable on the other side, and if you haven't played with her a ton, it's going to be tough to know what to do. Here's what they're playing for and what they're playing with. $1.5 million U.S. prize money for the total event. 2,000 points to the champion. Love the table, the floor I've played on, and the ball. I actually haven't tried, but no doubt about it, if it's here, there's a reason for it. Fan vote, 69% HEZHUOJIA, 31% for Shin Yubin. You can cast your votes at worldtabletennis.com or on the WTT app. I love the Singapore Smash. I love table tennis, and watching HEZHUOJIA face more and more challenges.
How to serve? Love all.
It's a question of will it blend. 2 undefeated players enter the arena, and it's HEZHUOJIA to start with. The serves love all. How uncomfortable, how unusual. Remember, pips, those bumps that look like Legos, the longer they are, the more defensive they are. But she uses them aggressively with thick sponge underneath, so the ball sinks in and she has more control to attack.
1 all.
A little bit off the net here. You're going to see a lot of that. Shin Yubin is going to be trying to keep the ball low to the net where she can, but also calibrate, lift more than she would against the forehand of HEZHUOJIA.
2-1.
This is nothing like what we saw with Miwa. Very few points ended this quickly. And even a net ball there for HEZHUOJIA. Shin Yubin not bothered. Shin, you've been there before. She's been through that. Getting the feet in position here. HEZHUOJIA wiggling around to stay loose on receive. A bit more pace on the backhands in this rally, especially the finishing one from HEZHUOJIA. Guiding it deep to the backhand, and now she accelerates. That last one, you could see how much forward motion there was.
Three, 2.
Nice combination. HEZHUOJIA brings in Shin Yubin and then sends her back to the baseline. Classic combination. Short, then baseline. Test the in and out game on the other side.
2-4.
So the first towel break here, a bit of momentum for HEZHUOJIA. It's funny talking to some of her teammates, Chinese team, say, doesn't she remind you of a Japanese player? Throughout her career, she has. Oh, beautiful cross-court counter. Not just in the way she looks, but her game, her setup. Think about how many women use pips on the backhand side, stay on top of the table for Japan. Historically, quite common.
Four all.
And without Mutsa in the game, we don't see so many for Team China. But again, long pips makes this especially unusual. Shin Yubin turning the corner there to put pressure on with the parallel. Coco watches on.
Five, 4.
Quality push on the dig. Right near that sideline, HEZHUOJIA gets her feet back in position quickly. This is all part of it. Players, when they play the touch game, trying to get the opponent out of position, off balance.
4-6.
Now, as many of you have probably been watching since the start of this event, you might recall the final point, maybe the second to last point, Miwa Harimoto versus HEZHUOJIA. It felt like it lasted forever on the push game. HEZHUOJIA's really solid in the short game.
Let 4-6. Four, 7.
Now the calibration that I speak of, how to time the ball from HEZHUOJIA's backhand, very difficult to read. Well, that was cool. Raining balls. Right near the camera lens for you there. You want to reach out and catch it, don't you?
7-5.
Good placement on this one into the elbow. Now the men's and women's games differ quite a bit. After that shovel serve, I'll tell you, the women tend to favor the backhand because they stay closer to the table. They play a faster game. As one step on average height is less for women. It's just too much of a disadvantage to be behind the table and cover that much ground, so they tend to stay closer where they need the backhands.
7-6.
And on a rare occasion you see a forehand, there's going to be a quick recovery wherever possible. From just about table height, HEZHUOJIA leans in to close and cover, but Shin Yubin, I love that look. Eh? Still 1 point in front, HEZHUOJIA. Corner to corner, Shin Yubin with the speed and precision. Again, if I had to guess what percentage of the fans here are from China, I would say well over 50.
8-7.
Don't get me wrong, plenty of Singaporeans here. But who's here now? Shin Yubin. 8-7, she's up. Good long serve. Again, I think in general, long serves to the middle and to the backhand are going to be effective, with sprinkling in shallow serves from time to time.
8-all.
And the reason you do that is the same reason you smell coffee beans after about 3 different fragrances when you're testing at Sephora. You need to cleanse the palate. Otherwise, it all starts to blend together, or in this case, the receiver recognizes your patterns and has too good a response. 8 points apiece.
9-8.
Moving in and out, taking advantage of a little height. HEZHUOJIA there. Shallow on that. Then the punch. Softs. Every shot, those last 3 from HEZHUOJIA were quite varied, contrasting. Top of the net on the counter, but she's there. She's everywhere she needs to be. HEZHUOJIA, she's got 2 game points. All you have to do in these replays is keep your eye on one player, just to appreciate how little time there is between shots. Shin Yubin taking her time down there for a minute, thinking through the strategy, what it's going to be.
Nine, 10.
Hand raised there for just a little fortune at the end. One game point saved. Shin Yubin doing a wonderful job to get HEZHUOJIA behind the table. She's got the serve to start the rally. Question is, how is she going to set up the point? The caution was right. HEZHUOJIA on top of the bounce. I thought Shin Yubin played that point nearly perfectly. And still HEZHUOJIA not bothered by the variation in the spin. 2 slow arcing shots and then the look to the middle. Shin Yubin, a tight game, but it's HEZHUOJIA getting the better of the 2. 11-9, she takes game 1. Conversation with Mr. Chanel himself. We'll be back for game 2 in this best of 5 round of 16 battle. Here's a look at Tong Tong, Chun Shing Tong versus Bernie Such, a player who's been quite strong against some of the best in the world from Team China. Chun Shing Tong 3-0 against the Romanian superstar who you've seen all over the world. Look at the quality of shot Bernie Such plays, and it doesn't bother Tong Tong. Well prepared, fast, fluid. She's just always so relaxed, it seems. But a different fire inside for HEZHUOJIA, trying to stay loose as the feet shift around. We'll see Tong Tong in the next round. The difference in pace, trajectory, and timing for those 2 shots from HEZHUOJIA. You could just hear it, even if you weren't watching. She took it so early off the bounce. Nice parallel topspin coming in, a bit more familiar. Now a safe shot in table tennis is to the length of the table. I don't know if you could hear the air quotes around safe shot, but the reason I say that is because it's also more predictable. So it puts you in danger of the counterattack from your opponent, constantly evaluating risk. Now HEZHUOJIA using the racket very well here openly. Just guides that forward. You see the way she didn't close the racket as she hit it? She was hitting the ball from behind more to impart less spin. Flat punches, a step behind the table. Shin Yubin's face there like, wait a minute. You just did that? Really? One serving three, Shin Yubin looking to get in how she can. And you might say, isn't that always true? Well, specifically against HEZHUOJIA, because not only her receive game, but as soon as she gets into a rally, it just feels like she controls. For a player who plays on top of the table, it's impressive. The difference in sound, you can almost feel how much lift is required from this second ball off of HEZHUOJIA's racket. It's very shallow. Shin Yubin trying to extend out in front. But a look at the serve success here. 3 out of every 4 points HEZHUOJIA has won with her serve. 571 out of every 1,000 serves that Shin Yubin has played in this game. Obviously, that's not exactly how it works. Back edge of the table, HEZHUOJIA. Shin Yubin nods her head. Playing for the Korean Air team is where she met her coach, Ham Sori. Had a chance to play with him as well. For a guy who doesn't speak a ton of English, he's as nice as they come. He'll sit by you and do his best to converse with you. Back edge. Ooh, some ITTK. Some instant table tennis karma. One after another, edge for edge. Feint. Not a suggestion, just a description here of the back edge. Please don't feint. Short side of the table here. I know it's exciting. On top of the bounce, Shin Yubin keeps her position. As a taller player, it's natural to get a step behind the table. Sofia Polkanova has demonstrated quite well that you can be one of the tallest in the game and still manage a game on top of the table. Moving in well, calibrating. It's the footwork to start it off. Shin Yubin not hesitating at all, quick to make her move. One, and leans forward there. The wide base, feet far apart, making it a tough day at work for that with the furrowed brow. She. Good times, 5 points apiece. Now, as a taller player, pros and cons. You've heard about many of the cons in recent history. But one of the pros, for the pros with the longer wingspan, is more racket speed when you have time. Much like Wang Man-yu, Shin Yubin here dropping the racket low and loading that ball with topspin. Tough rally, but she finds the middle. Shin Yubin, amazing here to step up by 2 points. She had been trailing. These are rallies that almost always ended in HEZHUOJIA's favor. Shin Yubin starting to move a little bit further to the forehand side of the elbow to beg that turn, the pivot. Again, if you're newer to the game, it's fairly simple, but it's also high-level tactics. Hit it to the middle, meaning right between the forehand and backhand of your opponent. HEZHUOJIA with the quality from the backhand. Sounds a little bit more like a knock on the door, a deader sound as the ball vibrates through to the blade behind the rubber and the sponge. The most impressive thing for me was that Shin Yubin was able to go backhand with that third ball attack. It was placed in such an uncomfortable position wide. You could feel the hesitation. HEZHUOJIA knows the game, knows it well. There's a reason she took down world number 6, Miwa Harimoto. And Shin Yubin with 6 of the last 8 points. Flying Korean Air. Ooh, not a bad recovery there. Covers the net ball at full extension and brings it right back to the baseline. Off balance, had to lean for that one. And then put into a position to be on the chase, playing that forehand from under the table. 1 point down, second serve. HEZHUOJIA. Back edge. A little bit more here for Shin Yubin after they had evened out before, at least to the memory of moi. Love myself a good facial expression after an edge. Thinking back to the practice hall in Wangmanyu, practicing with Kwai Man after being defeated 3-0. Pace behind the table. HEZHUOJIA able to generate some serious pace. And in the replay, you can see that the faster ball, as Shin Yubin calls the timeout, is actually from Shin Yubin because she's got the acceleration off the bounce with that topspin. It's HEZHUOJIA reactionarily speaking. So here's a look at how spinny the forehand of Shin Yubin was. And a very big point there, 139. Man, per second, by the way, not minute anymore. We're zooming in for you. Again, from what I'm told, face is good, palm of the hands, top of the head is good, bottom of the feet, back of the neck, while it might feel good, tells your body to heat up. Which is sort of the opposite of what you want with that ice bag and why they have it.
9-8.
Second serve here, out of the timeout, Shin Yubin. Now this is Shin Yubin's point for me all the way through. HEZHUOJIA steals it with some incredible behind the table play. Not way back behind the table, but farther than she'd like to be. HEZHUOJIA in that rally was pushed off the table. Shin Yubin worked hard to get that positioning. That's just how resilient, how recoverable? How well prepared she is to recover. HEZHUOJIA ties it up, deflating the timeout so far. And a heavy push sets up a game point. Didn't drop a game against Miwa. Dominated the first two. Young stars finding themselves in trouble here. Game point, HEZHUOJIA. And there it is, the push play, the short game. I told you she can push forever, and she demonstrates it here. Shin Yubin trying to stay cool. Showing little expression here after an empty serve and a push rally. HEZHUOJIA puts that one behind her, or in the side pocket, whatever it may be, she takes it with her. It's a 2-0 lead for the world rank number 30, 26-year-old HEZHUOJIA. And on the other side, world rank number 9, 20-year-old Shin Yubin, down 0-2.
这个就比较更快一点，这是一般球啊，因为它这个又快，你要发更快一点，然后稍微敲打一点，敲打一点啊，然后打起响起来，给它打起来，它很标准，它是后面这个回把你看着人打吃了它就可以，对吧？自己还是去评价了，不要你给他打两个自己哇，尤其是相当于。
Anybody know that guy? World number 1, Wang Chuqin, doing some Bruce Lee practice with a man in Bruce Lee jacket. I love it. And not too many players are 1-0. Anton Schellberg, a man who has never lost to Wang Chuqin on the WTT stage alongside Marcus Huiberg, long-standing coach back again, back at it with Team Sweden. Good to see the friendly face.
Third game, hurdle serve, love all.
Anton Schellberg getting so good that I almost forgot he had beaten Wang Chuqin. And the long list of players that were a little bit more surprising to pull out some victories. What an unusual point.
One love.
Let's just take a minute to appreciate how unusual, how uncommon this point is. The push from Shin Yubin in that rally, the reason it wasn't put away is because it was right in between the forehand and backhand. HEZHUOJIA patiently played the backhand.
One all.
Good steady spin. Moving forward, Shin Yubin going 50-50 on the receive, not too bad. It's funny, just a few players stand out in the receive game. Got some interesting stats on that. Lily Zhang, the most successful percentage on receive in this event so far.
1-2.
Although she was eliminated earlier today. Is that today? Hina Hayata. Hina Hayata in strong form, no doubt about it. Shin Yubin, another big name. HEZHUOJIA's been in and out of the spotlight over the years.
2 all.
For HEZHUOJIA over Miwa Harimoto, on paper it's an upset. Much like Xue Fei versus Tomokazu, but participation matters. You can only have so many players from the same national association, the same team at one event.
2-3.
So to stay well prepared, Team China, after the top few, rotate quite often, offering opportunities to young players and even those a little bit more experienced, like the 26-year-old herself, to show what they're capable of, to essentially audition for the biggest team events of the year.
4-2.
But even at events like this where they're playing singles, you're trying to bring pride to your nation. 4-2. Shin Yubin with a solid start here in what is a must-win game. Well, Arf there, right to the baseline. There it is again, little footsteps. Love the yelp. Again, the angle of the knees. The replays, that's one part. Can be watching and learning from HEZHUOJIA. Looking for the parallel. A little bit more dangerous play. And that's 3 in a row here for HEZHUOJIA. How well she moves forward, how low she stands. HEZHUOJIA. What a recovery. Pounces on the backhand and gets right back to the baseline. HEZHUOJIA. Inspired fans. HEZHUOJIA, some very strong legs. Wide stance. Able to move in, stay on the balls of her feet. Slow spin.
7.
It's tough to deal with. We talked about calibrating and knowing how much spin is on the ball off of those long pips. I mean, that's a shot you would see from a player with inverted rubber.
8-4.
And just a little pitter patters. The steps out here in between points from HEZHUOJIA. Shin Yubin has had 6 points in a row scored against her. The last towel break, she was at 4. don't think you're thinking about the score that much. Just an interesting thing to observe here.
9-4.
Meaning you, when you're playing, the pros are so good at clearing the score. Rarely does it help. If it does, then great. Keep it. Keep whatever helps. But if it distracts you, focus. Shin Yubin with the edge of the racket and about the third to last shot in that rally. HEZHUOJIA adapting, but in the end, Shin Yubin right back with safe spin, arcing. HEZHUOJIA.
Let 5-9.
And a serve carries just too long for the table. Attempted long. It is 5 match points for HEZHUOJIA to move on to the quarterfinals. And there it is. The defensive shot. It comes back. Funky spin and full of fulfillment out here. HEZHUOJIA puts another one away, taking down top 10s in the world, number 30 in the world, without a game dropped. 9-9-5, the most dominant game, the final game. And she's strong, no doubt about it. Ready to rock, and rocks on through to the next round. Shin Yubin, with a bright future ahead at 20 years old, has had a tough draw to have to face HEZHUOJIA in the round of 16. The world number 9, just like the world number 6 before her, has been taken out. So good handshake, respect, no doubt about it. They are scientists of emotion out here. But the side spin on that curving shot, HEZHUOJIA looks right at the hand and humbly shakes. And back for the high five of Coco Chanel. Good look at the table here. Shin Yubin, the ball placement, a lot in, looking for that elbow, but she doesn't play it right near the baseline as much. Interesting. Similar here, feels slightly closer to the baseline, keeping it deep. Again, I would say it's the variation in her game that they're not all baseline. So just under 150%. HEZHUOJIA well outscoring her opponent. After 27 minutes of play, we've got ourselves a quarterfinalist.
Congratulations, beautiful match. You always look like you're having fun out there. Did you have a lot of fun out there tonight?
恭喜佳佳，今天的比赛非常精彩。我们每次看到你打比赛，都感觉你非常的开心。今天的比赛也很开心吗？
是的，在这么好的场地能参加比赛，我觉得是非常开心，而且很享受的一件事情。
Yes, I'm very happy and enjoyed it a lot to be able to compete in such an amazing arena.
Well, congratulations. You're now in the quarterfinals of another Smash event. You've been in one before. Share with us, how do you feel being in other quarterfinals of a Smash event?
那恭喜佳佳，赢了这场比赛之后呢，也是再一次进入到了大满贯赛事的8强。现在感受如何？
非常开心。其实也没有想那么多能走到哪里，我就是想着能多在这样好的场地打一场比赛是一场，很珍惜。
Well, I didn't overthink about that. All I want is to have one more match in this beautiful arena. I really cherish every opportunity here.
Well, we can't wait to see that match, and we wish you the best of luck.
我们也非常期待看到你接下来的比赛，继续加油。
A very charming interview there from Iggy with HEZHUOJIA. I don't know if you guys were wondering, as HEZHUOJIA signs the ball, how they managed to project HEZHUOJIA's face while the camera was showing from behind on the main screen here. Pretty fascinating. I'm sure I'll get the answer to that soon. And for many fans, someone will get this signed ball. It's not just one, but yes, a pair. Going out to the crowd here with their flashing wristbands. Shallow one. Let's see if she gives underspin. What about the other side? I don't know. We got a whole other side of the stadium. Do I want to go over there? I don't think so. Gonna take it easy. Very little spin here, so the front rows, the better seats. The chance, still hasn't been claimed? That's a HEZHUOJIA signed ball. Get on it. Wow. HEZHUOJIA looking so happy. Again.